Hello and welcome to NewFilmmakers Los Angeles in partnership with Movie Maker magazine. My name is Danny DeLillo and we're here at the South Park Center and I'm here with Cassandra Hesseltine with her movie RX A Love Story. Let's take a look at the clip. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm so happy for you to share your film with us.
Thank you.
But for those that haven't seen it, tell us a brief synopsis.
It's about a woman who wakes up one day with a boil on her face, and she, does what a normal person would do. She goes to the doctor to deal with it, and she ends up chasing, with one drug, she ends up having a side effect and then has to take a different drug for that side effect, and she ends up having this medical kind of chasing thing of trying to, get rid of these side effects. But it's a lot more than that. It's about her not loving herself and chasing something outside of her.
Yeah.
The doctor obviously also doesn't care. He's not really present in what's happening, with her. And so it's she has to finally come to terms that someone can't fix her outside of her.
Yeah.
It's got to be within.
It's such a great story, and it's, one thing I really felt from it as well is that it's almost kind of universal in lots of ways. Many people may feel that about themselves or go through that, or just the fact that, we get given a drug and there's side effects and all those different things. Where did your inspiration personally about creating this particular story?
So the lead actress actually wrote it. So it's her story that she wanted to do because for her, she's appalled at, all the commercials that we all laugh at when they say, oh, this drug will help you with this, but it might kill you.
Yeah, right, I know.
Right? You know? So she, wanted to have an acting piece, and that was, for her, something she wanted to, highlight was that problem. And so when she first brought it to me, I went, oh, okay, that's cool, but I needed to have depth to it. I wanted to add more. And so my inspiration was, well, finding who is this woman and what would make her chase that down, and continue to, pursue this, these drugs and doing this whole thing. So for me, my inspiration was discovering, we actually created that part of the story of her not loving herself. We had to add that part. It wasn't originally in the script.
Yeah.
And then that's when I felt like everybody is doing that, right? That's what we're all doing. We're all trying to find love for ourselves.
Yeah.
We're all trying to, often people will do it outside of them, they think it's based on their job or it's based on a relationship or they want someone else to love them.
Yeah.
And I think true happiness comes when you love yourself.
Yeah. I think it was so important because I think also we are also in a country where we are just handed a drug by our doctor to almost like, oh, this will help you, or this will fix you, or this will do you. And then I think it was so beautiful that it was like, it was her story turning upon in herself and realizing that actually all of her gifts that she can put out to the world is already within her, and that these drugs, well, maybe they're support, but they weren't going to solve anything, and that was such a beautiful thing for people to see, I think, particularly people that are going through maybe their own personal mental health issues or things going on in their life as well. It's so powerful.
And it's not to say that, if I had a heart condition, I'd take a heart with side effects. Who cares, right? Because that's what it's for. So it's not putting down that kind of a thing by any means. It was just a mechanism of being able to tell I think a deeper story.
And she was, the performance was really great. And what I loved about it was there was very lack of dialogue, which was great because you just kind of were just embraced.
One line.
Exactly. So you just embraced in just her emotions and her feelings, and I felt like I was like right there with her. For you as a director, how is that? Because you're obviously, there is no kind of dialogue to play with.
Yeah.
So how do you go about directing something like that? I mean, do you kind of really work with the actor to kind of release her emotion? Only she wrote it, but how was that for you?
Yeah, we did. It's interesting because when you do something with no lines, you don't want to overact it, right? You don't want to overplay because you're trying to tell a story, but silent film almost like,
Exactly.
So how do you do that? So we had to, make sure that they weren't overacting. They're both brilliant actors, but telling the story with no lines. And then when we got to that part at the end, right before she says the line, it's like that's the breakthrough. That's why she finally talks, right? It was really interesting because we had already shot that scene the night before, had a mess up, had to reshoot it. So, here she is, has done a brilliant job the night before, and I have to go to her and say, Tracy, we need to reshoot that scene. And so to get her through it, I actually side coached her. We had to cut me out, and I was her thoughts coaching.
Wow.
And so that when she's having that breakdown crying and all of that, I'm talking to her the entire time as her character.
Wow.
Yeah, so I side coached
That's so
her.
powerful, and that's such a wonderful thing as a director to be able to work with your actor in that
Right.
way as well.
Right,
Wow.
and I'm an actor's director, so
Yeah,
I've done
so-
theater for 32 years, and
Yeah.
I've been in film for 19, and I know how to tell a story and how to direct an actor. I teach acting, so
Yeah.
for me, that's the easy part, and I love that part, connecting with
Yeah.
an actor and being able to get them to authentically tell a story, you
Yeah.
know, and not to have her play an emotion,
Yeah.
but to have her, what is she fighting for, and the struggle that she was going through, and that's why thinking in character and those thoughts, and that she genuinely, broke down.
Wow, I mean, I think that's beautiful because I think sometimes, some directors are more logistics and they kind of sit
Right.
back and they let the person, but I think it's so powerful when you can almost like workshop it through, you know what I mean,
Right.
together, and that's a really powerful thing. Again, you kind of created this world for her. It was because of obviously what she was going through and everything else. It felt very kind of closed, like you're almost in this bubble with her.
Yeah.
Was that kind of what you wanted to sort of almost create for us as well?
Yeah. I mean, there
Yeah.
was two parts to that. One is the story, and
Yeah.
yes, we kept it very close. You're only in her room.
Yeah.
You're only in the doctor's office. It was done like that stylistically. But then also, we didn't have enough money.
There you go. Well, it worked regardless.
But so we were like, well, we're not going to have establishing shots of her house
Yeah.
or then the doctor's office,
Yeah.
Her house is my bedroom, and then next
Brilliant.
door was my mom's house, which is gutted. She was renovating and had gutted the kitchen. So that's actually
Well, thank you, Mom. There you go.
Thank you, Mom. And so that's a kitchen.
Yeah.
And we turned into the doctor's office. So we couldn't do establishing shots of the doctor's office. Then we would have had to go outside.
I'm glad
of that.
you didn't because we didn't need it.
But we
you
didn't
know?
need it,
Yeah.
and that was the thing that made it
That
all,
was so great because that psychologically, as an audience member, made me just play on this, where her world was. You
Yes,
know what I mean?
yes.
It was beautiful, but
Well, and then we could shoot that last scene where you see now she's going to go outside,
and that
it
was
expands,
powerful. And
right?
then so it's just clever. It's not about budget. It was just clever. I love it. I mean, of course, that was a really big challenge that you had in the fact that you had to reshoot a scene, and it's a hard thing for a director to say. Yes, we had this perfect scene, but it needs to be reshot, and that's very.
Right.
Was there any other challenge you had in making this particular project?
I think the only other challenge is the actors were in LA, and I'm in Northern California, and so we for like a year we wanted to shoot it down here in LA, and my schedule wasn't working with theirs, and so it just kept not vibing, and finally I just said, why don't you two come up to me? And so we pulled an amazing crew together in Humboldt County that all came together for free for a weekend, and made the movie. So that was a challenge until it wasn't, and then it was great. It was really, I think it was the best thing for me then, because I knew I handpicked every single person on the crew.
Yeah.
So it was really great to be able to have a team like that. Versus I would have come down here and not had my team.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, being your forte anyway, it was nice to kind of bring it in your own neighborhood. I think one of the things I loved about what you said last night is that this project didn't really stand out as being something that maybe it was what you expected to do.
Right.
But you did it. And how was that a journey evolving after you did it?
Yeah, it was really interesting because when she pitched the project to me, she said, hey, let's do it like Charlie Chaplin style, silent film. She had all these other ideas about it, the whole raccoon for the doctor wasn't part of the story, her backstory of not loving herself wasn't part of the story.
Yeah.
So for me, the challenge was how to make something better, how to take something that, she saw it, but she wasn't going to direct it. I'm directing it, and I didn't write it. And that's really unusual, I think, for a short.
Yeah.
So to take a short that I wasn't emotionally invested in, and try to, for me, flush out more of the story and then make it better. It was a great challenge, you know, and I'm really proud of what we did, my team, you know, the production design on it, and my DP editor, you know, everybody.
Beautiful.
Yeah, everybody came together. My makeup artist, she had to learn how to make a boil.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, and that was quite a shocking thing to see on the screen, but it was very impressive.
I loved when everyone, you know, got grossed out.
Yeah, I was eating my breakfast watching it when I first watched it, so, you know, I was like... No, it really was. No, it was funny, but no, I think that was very powerful. It's lovely to go on that evolving journey of just, you know, all of a sudden you've just made this project. I think what I took from it, from an audience member, is just, you know, just about someone kind of finding it within themselves, but also just the kind of journey that someone goes on, and that was so powerful. For her and for you, what did you kind of want your audience to get from this particular film? If you had a you know, choice.
I think it was, for me, I think it was kind of what we've touched on, which is I want my audience to kind of maybe reflect on realizing to stop chasing things outside of them. You know, that doesn't, sure, you know, a new car is fun, you know, going on vacation is fun, like those things, yes, they can make you feel good momentarily, but really what really gives us happiness, especially when life is sideways, is you're you inside you and loving you, and that's what really gets you through life. And so just maybe have people take a minute to think about, you know, do I love myself? Like genuinely love myself? Am I taking the best care of myself? Am I there for myself when life is sideways? You know, and or do I rely then on, you know, alcohol to get me through it, or spending money that I don't have to get me through it, or praise from my friends, you know, or a selfie on Facebook and how many likes did I get? You know. Because all of that's not real.
That's right.
You know, that's
so
not,
true.
It's not real. And so just, you know, people reflect on that a little bit. If they love themselves a little bit more, and, you know, then that would be nice.
What was it like for you to have this film in front of an audience at NewFilmmakers LA? What was that experience like to have that? Because it's always amazing when you see it in the edit, but then you go and see it on the big screen. What was that experience like?
Well, it was so scary. This was the most scared I think I've been, and I've worked in film in 19 years.
Oh my goodness.
You know, and I was a producer before in my other life, and now, you know, I'm a film commissioner. And to be honest with you, I haven't had a piece that I've directed up on the screen, because I always did a different, you know. So I've been to lots of movie premieres, but I was a different role. So this was the first time that it was, it's all on me. I made these decisions, you know, and what are people going to think about this? So I had butterflies last night and was nervous, and then I relaxed once it started and watched people engage and laughing and you know, making the you know comments or whatever. So it was really, that part was, it was fantastic. So I direct theater too. I've done that. I've been part of theater for 32 years, and when I direct a play, it was the same kind of feeling as last night, is when you sit in the audience and you watch the audience. So, and their reaction to your work. And so that was just, that was such a great moment.
I love that. I love that. I love that it never stops, no matter how many years you've been doing it. That sort of adrenaline and butterflies never stop. It's wonderful. What is next for you, Cassandra? What's happening?
Well, you know, I have to do my day job as film commissioner, and we do have a big movie coming up to our area, so I'm excited to be working on that again. But on the side, I have a couple scripts that I am working on right now. One in particular is about alcoholism, and it's really powerful piece, so I'm hoping to finish that script sooner than later. I have another one, which is a woman who finds herself. She runs away to the Yukon and goes and sees the Northern Lights and has this whole wild experience.
Oh wow.
So, and that one I'm really excited about as well. So
what I feel like I'm having a TED talk as well with you, but what in your experience in your life, is there a piece of advice that you can kind of relate to filmmakers out there that maybe want to, you know, make a film, follow in your footsteps, or something that you go by in your world and that you've had in your career thus far?
I think the thing is that people just need to be authentic. You know, if they like humor, make something funny. You know, like the guys last night with the paw, you know, the monkey paw. You know, it was great because they just really 100% went for it. You know, and I think, or you know, if you want to tell, you know, human interest story pieces, then tell that. You know, do what you love and don't compromise yourself. You know, and I think that is what's going to make people successful, is when they follow what they love. You know. and be authentic about it, and
Yeah.
and you know, be a hard worker, you know,
Yeah, that's right.
and do the work and have real relationships, especially in this industry. You know, don't use people, don't try to be fake, don't do all
Yeah.
of that, you know. So that's what really gets you, I think, you know, get you ahead.
Yeah.
Is, you know, be a hard worker, have real relationships, and express yourself as a filmmaker in the most authentic way.
I love it. Do what you love, follow what you love, be authentic. Cassandra Hesseltine, thank you so very much. Thank you. Really appreciate your work. I want just keep bringing us more, please, because you know I love where the journey you take us through in your film. So thank you very much.
Thank you,
Cassandra, everybody.